Hi folks, today I am going through a quick release Ridgeline. The reason I'm doing this is last week I was chatting with one of my mates, Mick Outdoors, who has a YouTube channel. So again, I'll put a link for Mick's channel in the description below this video. And Mick was chatting away anyway, and said that I'd been away camping for the weekend, was chatting away, and he said that he was doing a video on Monday, or was going on Monday, about how to do a quick release Ridgeline, which is what this is here. And I was saying how I secure my Ridgeline so you don't get any knots in it, how you tie it up after you're using it. And he said it would be interesting to actually see how I set my Ridgelines up. So this is then for Mick, and obviously for you guys also. So all I have is two trees side by side, and some paracord, and that's it. So Mick has an interesting way of doing his, where he actually has toggles and his Prussic knots already attached, but I don't, because yeah, I just don't, that's not my way. But I'll show you my way anyway. So I have a bowline tied at the end of one end of my rope, or paracord even. All I'm going to do, pull it out, just going to go around this tree. I'm just going to get a twig just to act as my locking point. So I'm going to put the rope around, I'm going to grab the working end through the loop, I'm going to put the log through the loop, bring that up so it's of a good height, and then if I just cinch this in, that's going to lock in place, and that's going to go nowhere. And then as I'm walking away, you can just see that the paracord is just unraveling. So this is about 10 meters in length, or 5-10 meters in length, so it's way too big for this demo. So what I'm going to do then is put the rope or the paracord around the tree. So I'm just going to do a trucker's tow hitch, or trucker's hitch. So my hand goes over, creates a loop, pulls that end through to create a loop. All I'm going to do then is feed the working end through, pull this all tight, and then if I just pull back on the working end here, it's going to just tension the rope and make a really tight Ridgeline. So the only problem with this method is if you let go, obviously it loosens really quickly. So what you can do is you can actually double this round, so actually put two loops in there, and then the actual paracord, when you're drawing back on it, acts as a self-locking mechanism, or a semi self-locking mechanism. Then to secure this, you're just going to make a loop above, bring your working end through the back, and then just cinch that down, and that's it. That is your Ridgeline. What you can also do then is you can put a twig in here. Here we go. So not a great one. Use this. There we go. So as safety, you can put a twig in here, and this then will stop your guy line or your Ridgeline coming loose, so no one can pull this. This can't get pulled by an animal, or you can't trip over it and then release this knot, which would then release your Ridgeline. So this is it, really, really quickly, really easily. And then to take it down, all you're doing is just remove the stick, if you put a stick in there. All you just do is just pull, and then this just all comes loose. Again, I've just got loads of paracord here because I'm not going to cut it down. And then this here, where you have the loop in it, if you just pull this, that just pulls out. And then at the other end, just take the log out, or your piece of stick out, and this, you walk away with it. So that's how I set up my Ridgelines. It's just really, really quick. Really, really quick. And it's a method that I've used, excuse me, it's a method I've used now for a number of years. The only difference is I don't use paracord anymore. My preference would be using tarred bank line. So this is the same length of rope, but this, as you can see, I mean, it's far, far thinner material. And stronger, and also this doesn't sag, whereas this does. If you haven't got a bowline on one end of your rope, what you can do is you can just use a Siberian hitch. So that's why I like the bowline again. It's easy to unravel. I don't like having knots in rope that you can't undo. So Siberian hitch, and there's a few different ways I've seen of doing this. This is the method I like doing. Bring your rope over, draw it back through, cinch it in, and then this just pulls against the rope. And again, your safety mechanism here again, then it's just using a twig in there so you can't accidentally pull this loose. But that's going to be as tight as can be. But you can see my problem being here is that my rope is tangled, and this is what happens many times if people don't tend to know a lot of knots. I think my suggestion is learn the Siberian half hitch, learn bowline, and the trucker's toe hitch, and those 3 knots. I mean, I don't use much more. Sometimes I use a clove hitch. I will use a clove hitch also, but that would be the kind of the 4 hitches or 4 knots I would use all the time. And I can do the same thing with this again now. I can just take this round the tree, albeit very tangled now. Pull it round, create my trucker's toe hitch, pull this through. Nice and tight. Create a tensioner. And there you go. Really quick. Really simplistic. And then all you can do after that is just use your Prussic knots, which I think I have some in my bag. I'll go and have a look. Yeah, so here's my Prussics. I keep my Prussics separate. I don't leave them on the rope just because I don't know what length of rope I'm going to be using. I might be using something that's 5 meters, 10 meters long, or maybe only a couple of meters long. So I keep everything separate. Prussic is just a loop, and all you're going to do is feed it over and feed this end through once, twice, 3 times. And if you draw that in, that looks horrific. So I don't like using paracord for Prussics, but there we go. So this then is a sliding knot. Free to slide up and down the rope. But then if you put tension on this, it locks in place. So if you have a tarp or a couple of Prussics up here with a tarp, you can slide these away. So it's tension on this, and the further you pull, the more tension, and this isn't going to give. So it's a great way of attaching tarps to a Ridgeline, and easy just to take off, and that's it. So that's why I don't leave Prussics on my own Ridgelines, but you can do. Each to their own. I said mixed method. I've not seen it before, but I actually really liked it. It's quite clever. It is quite clever. I just am a bit more minimalistic in what I'm going out with. So I said that is the same length as this. I'll actually show you the difference when I get this wrapped up. So take it down again, same thing. Just pull on the working end. Just looses this. This all comes through. Pull it through. Pull through. Again, just pull this. That's that knot gone. And remove that wood, pull, and that's it. So it's really quick and easy to take down, which is what I like. I don't like doing things that take a long time to do. That's my bowline then. back in. So, how to tie your Ridgeline or your paracord or your rope up. So, I always put a loop on the end of my rope, and the reason is or a bowline on the end, because you can take it off and it's not a slip knot. So over my thumb, all I'm going to just do then is just weave my hands, or the rope, over my hands. Just keep going. This is the laborious bit. I should actually sing or maybe dance for you when I'm doing this. The reason I have such a long rope or paracord days, I didn't know where I'd be doing this. So when you've got about a foot of rope or paracord left over, you're just going to wind it around your rope here, put it nice and tight, and then you're basically putting a clove hitch on it. So you're lifting up the working at one end, putting the working end through, cinching that tight, and that's your rope. So I said this is the same length as that, but you can see the difference in size, and there's a difference in weight also. So that's my other consideration, is I prefer things to be lighter than heavier. And again, to unloosen this, if you just pull the end with the bowline on, it just comes undone, and there's no knots, nothing, just unloosens all the way through. And there you have it. So that's how I do my Ridgeline. So Mick, I hope you like that. Anyway, so again, to do it back up again, just crossing over. So you're basically weaving over and under your little finger and your thumb. And then when you've got about a foot or so left over, you're just going to pull the rope around the bundle of paracord and just pull it tight. So you're just cinching all that rope together, locking it in place. And the great thing about this is you can just throw this in your bag, and it's not going to get tangled up with anything. So again, just like a little clove here. Oop. Pull that nice and tight, and then you know you've got your bowline end here. If you just pull this, again, you can deploy your Ridgeline. But easy to use, compact, no knots, perfect. Anyway, let me know if you want to give this a go. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear if you do give this a go and how you get on. I've got a, so I'm going to finish this here. I've actually got a brand new Trangia cooker, which I've not used before. So I'm going to put all this stuff away, sit down somewhere around here and try the Trangia for the first time, see how that goes. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and chat next time. Bye.